Okay, good morning, everybody. All right, let's get started. All right, so we saw US stocks rise slightly yesterday, led by the Nasdaq. Joe's been talking about the increase in M&A activity, which has been pretty bullish for the market. Yes, it seems to have carried on. Um, Industrial production rose more than expected in May, with the New York Fed's Empire Manufacturing Report coming in at 19.28 versus 15 that was expected. And then company-specific news, we had Williams Companies Inc. Surging higher as it announced a controlling stake in Access Midstream Partners LP. We had mixed action out of Asia. You can see there Hang Seng, Shanghai and Aussie down slightly, and the Kospi and the Nikkei up. In Sydney, I saw this morning we had Billy's Rio down almost 1%. As iron ore continued to drop, we had Fortesque Metals and Mount Gibson were the hardest hit. I guess they were sort of iron ore specific stocks. And then we had Japanese stocks rallying a little bit on the back of government reforms, most importantly a cut in corporate tax. Over here, our chart of interest of the day is basically showing that how retail stocks have underperformed the S&P so far this year, while Brent crude has sort of been consolidating and has now popped out of the top of quite a large consolidation. I think that's a chart of a Brent crude fund, an ETF. So with Brent oil just breaking out, it'll be interesting to see how these retail stocks hold up out of the US. You can see that's also at quite a critical support level. All right, there's no corporate action today. Key factors today, we have the most important ones out of the lot are sort of UK CPI, UK Retail Price Index, and UK PPI Input NSA coming out at 10:30. At 11, we have German ZEW survey current situation and ZEW survey expectations, as well as the survey expectations out of the general Eurozone. And then at 2:30, US CPI, US housing starts and building permits. All right, let's have look at a couple of charts. And the first one I want to show is Anglo's. This one Joe's been following quite a bit recently. We recently formed a bit of a double top here, and we've been following the progress of this head and shoulders that broke down recently. Spent quite a bit of time consolidating right under the neckline, and then on I think last Wednesday or Thursday it broke down out of this. It was Thursday it broke down, and then Friday was pretty much a non-event day. Still has a lower target from the head and shoulders, so we're looking for sort of a retest of this recent low at around 247. I see today they were downgraded again. Who were they downgraded by? I think it was SocGen maybe. So another downgrade again. So not looking that good for Anglos in the short term. And then related shares, we have Billy's. I actually want to go to a bigger picture of Billy's, but if you in the meantime, if we have a look, it really hasn't followed Anglos down on this recent sell-off, and obviously the fact that they're quite heavy in oil is probably bullish for them. They've just been consolidating sideways, and in this uptrend, I mean, you've got to sort of favour the upside if it can't follow the other resource stocks down. But let's have a quick look at the bigger picture here. Okay, so let me see if I can get further back here. Okay, there we go. All right, so as you can see, a little while ago we broke out of this massive symmetrical triangle, which shows a significantly higher target. From here, there's about 10% upside to complete this pattern. So it's still looking pretty bullish on Billy's on the bigger picture. And these are the kind of setups you actually really want to be looking out for. That these big weekly breakouts that give you the opportunity to buy pullbacks all the way to the target. And then I just wanted to show you a similar chart of Sasol. As you can see, it's the Sasol and Billies are pretty highly correlated. Um, they they often eventually move the same direction. You can see a similar pattern. The breakout is a lot more extended on Sasol and it's pretty close to reaching the target. I think it's only about 20 rand away from that medium-term target. I actually on Friday I put on a long Billy short Sasol pair. Um, just purely not because I'm bearish for Sasol, but because I think Billy's could easily catch up here, and Sasol has had an extremely big move. All right, the next chart I wanted to show was Sibanye. This was one that was tweeted out on the Storm Trading Twitter account. It's been forming a bit of a head and shoulders here. It came out with a negative, pretty negative trading statement. I think sort of beginning of last week, I think it was, and you can see it's just had red candles ever since. It broke down from that head and shoulders on Friday, which is showing a target of let's have a look, approximately call it about 330 from the breakout. So let's look at about a target of just around 22, just over 22 possibly on Sibanye. So a little more downside there expected. Also wanted to have a look at Aspen. Aspen had this big breakout and has had a massive move towards its target. If we look at this sort of diamond formation that's formed recently, we could look at a target of we'll measure it now. We could be looking at about a 40 rand target from 280, so let's call it 320. So possibly still about 7-8% to the upside expected from this move. But let's look for. It's obviously overextended at the moment. If we get a little bit of consolidation around this level, see how it reacts around this 300 level. If it can hold it for a week or two, it might be a good time to get in for the rest of this move to the upside. And the last one I wanted to have a look at was Telkom. Telkom's also had a great move out. They recently came out with earnings that were a lot better than expected. They're pretty close to the very short-term target from this breakout. But I expect if we jump back, let's have a look at another weekly chart here. The weekly chart's a bit skewed here. So I think this weekly chart's a little bit skewed, but you can see this 39 level that it broke down from, that broke out from recently, is a really important longer-term level, and I think there's a gap fill that can still happen going into the 50s. So I think even though it's reached short-term sort of profit-taking levels, I think Telkom could be the one that could have a real move. I think it's under-owned, and there's possibly still a lot more upside to come. And that's all for today, guys. Best of luck trading.